This is episode 2 of the podcast that can't be named. We're going to be talking about socializing and the challenges, etc., etc. So we're going to start with Twoop with a story, if he's got one, of a time where what he thinks is ADHD, because he hasn't been diagnosed yet, so we're not 100% sure. We're fairly certain, but we're not 100% sure. How a social circumstance was affected by your ADHD.
I don't know. Can you really just think of one time? Like, it's just constant. Like, you talk over people, you finish sentences and stuff, and it's stuff like that. Like, it's hard to think of a time that it's happened.
I suppose that is the difficult part, because it's like, can I think of a time where, how about all the times?
Yeah, right.
I think the one thing I do a lot, and I don't think this is specific to ADHD, to be honest, but if someone's talking about something that's happened to them, I will immediately draw a connection and I will tell a story about where something similar happened to me. And I'm not trying to make the conversation about me. I'm trying to kind of convey that I understand. But I'll tell the story and then I'll immediately feel bad, because I'll be like, shit, they're going to think I was trying to make the story about me.
Took me so long to actually realize that was what you were doing. And so many conversations of being cut off and just like, oh, okay, it's the brothers talking now. Okay,
Yeah.
shut the mouth.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to stand over you. Matt, what's up, buddy? Dude, if you want to get in on this, jump on. And there's room for one more.
Do it.
If I get another person after you, then we might have a bit of problems, because then I've got to rearrange the screen and yeah. But yeah, there's room if you want to jump in. You've probably got some stories too. Hey, there he is. I think.
Yeah. I've been here since I've been up at work since like 3 a.m. So I'm just like blah, 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 blah.
It's fun times. And you should get on our roster, because then you get like days and days off in between.
I don't know what I am not in charge of my own destiny at the moment, so we shall see what happens.
We'll see. There's apparently changes coming up, but let's not talk about work, because this is what we're here for. Not really, but there may be some work topics. So Twoop was talking about how like his ADHD, or what we think is ADHD. I mean, look, we're 99.9% certain. It's just we're not therapists, so we can't give him the tick. Kind of affects all of his social circumstances. So, do you have any? Yeah, the camera does not like focusing, does it?
Yeah, I'll sort it out.
It's all good. Yeah, do you have any stories, like a particular time that you can think of where your ADHD has affected a social circumstance?
Yeah, is that a trick question?
One that kind of like points it out a little bit.
Oh, mate, every part, but it might not be my ADHD, but I don't know if you guys get the paranoia.
Does he really like me? Are they putting on an act?
Personally, I don't give a fuck if people like me or not. Sorry for swearing, but mine's always just like everyone has it out for me, and it's always the most negative thing in my head, and like trying to always combat that. But I don't think that's ADHD. I think that's more of a sort of side effect from the 2 decades of Ritalin and other tablets.
Yeah, it could be that, or your anxiety as well.
Yeah,
Um,
but oh yeah, definitely, dude. Like I've lost lots of friends from like things to do with ADHD. Um, like as I get older, I've sort of like that's life, baby. But definitely when those things mattered more to me, like as a core thing, um, yeah, definitely impactful. It'd be crazy to say it wouldn't be.
no, it's good. It's good. So I pretty much the same boat. Pretty much the same boat. Every social circumstance I am in, especially with people who I'm either not familiar with or I'm nervous about being social with. My biggest thing is I fucking motorboat. I just keep talking. And then in the midst of that talking, I realize that I'm doing it. And rather than shutting the fuck up like I probably should, I will then explain why I'm doing it in many, many words.
I yeah, no, that's true. I don't know, like I'm like if someone wants to be my friend, like I'm the type of person who can't like someone if I don't like their work ethic as well. Like I find it extremely difficult to separate the two. And that is, but again, that's not more really ADHD.
That's kind of like a personal moral thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. So you were late. I think I don't know what point you came in on the video, but this guy up here in that corner over there, that's actually my IRL brother, Darkling. And this is Matt. He currently works at the same place that I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You look similar.
yes,
You like your brother definitely looks like he's seen less horrors of life than you have, Torian.
yes, 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 yes. We could go on about his youngest sibling privilege for hours, but let's not. Well, we grew up very differently for a long time. Big difference in family circumstances and shiz. But I actually have a very, very specific memory of when my ADHD ruined a potential friendship for me. Thinking about it now, I probably shouldn't have given a crap about that relationship anyway, or that friendship anyway. But back then, I was really excited because one of the I'm not going to say popular because they weren't the popular kids, but they were far more popular than me. So they had friends, and there was this friend group, and one of them was going to let me hang out with them and stuff. Now I was in year 5, but I was a kid. But as soon as he started talking about coming over to his place and playing video games because he was really into computers, I got excited because we're a kid, new friend who has similar interests. So I got excited. Back then, that excitement came onto my body, so I would bounce.
Wait, what? Okay. I was just like, hold up.
No, that came later. That came later.
Hold up, only year 5, not year 6 yet.
Yes. I'd only just started going through puberty at this point. And basically because I was like bouncing and I was acting like a fucking idiot because I was an overly excited ADHD kid, he basically said, look, I'm not going to hang out with you if you're going to act like a sped. And I walked away. And like back then, that was devastating to me. Looking back at it now, what a fucking dick. Because he knew that I had ADHD. He knew that I was not normal. And he's just like, here you go, I'm going to be your friend. Fuck off.
I mean, for kids, especially back then, for kids, that sounds like he was doing it nicely. Like, I went to a public school, man. Like, it was just like, you get beaten up or you beat up people. So it was like, yeah, kids are assholes. You just have to go on the Modern Warfare lobbies and just, yeah, kids are dickheads. Like nowadays, it's changing, but that's more driven by society. But in general, kids are going to be dickheads.
Oh yeah, I grew up in the 90s. Like I was almost at the end of high school in the beginning of the thousands. So like early days, like every school I went to, except the last one, if you didn't play football and cricket, if you weren't a typical yobbo, you were weird and people picked on you.
Yeah, I read Harry Potter, so you can sort of guess how that goes.
I didn't have to worry about that because we actually got read Harry Potter in our class as part of our thing because Harry Potter was brand new. So they decided they were going to read the Harry Potter books bit by bit over the school year for literature training. So
it's funny because I don't know why they called me out, but like I had glasses and they weren't round glasses. They're just, I had glasses.
Yeah.
And someone reckoned I looked like Harry Potter. So, and I had really long hair. So they always used to call me Harry Potted because like everyone's like, Matt smokes weed. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know why they did it because they were doing it as an insult. But like, I was just like, I was really confused because like, I don't know, like weed isn't that bad. I don't smoke weed, but like, you know, it's, you know, at least not heroin. But like, everyone always used to call me that. And like, it turned into like Harry Potted. And then like when it got aggressive, it was like, wait, that pot-headed cunt. And I'm like, what did I do? What do you want? So like that's like I used to be sort of scarred by like that for ages, but I stopped caring.
I stopped caring. I think probably when I was about 16, and I wasn't as fussed. I mean, some things still hurt me, but I definitely wasn't as fussed. I got when I was in year 6 and 7, because my hair was always really long. Like it's only the last 10 years that I've been cutting it short. I got called 60s boy. And like it's any insult was just an insult in general to me back then because like obviously if the popular people are teasing me, then they're teasing me. As simple as that. Nowadays if someone called me 60s boy, I just play it off.
What a weird insult. Hey, 50s boy, hey.
Man,
see him there, hey?
Try to come up with an insult that rhymes with Taurian, though.
The Borean boy from the Borean tundra.
See, that's a little bit too above intellect for the kids that I went to school with, my man. Like these were some basic ass kids, you know.
Damn, dude, you've been whoring some.
Yeah. See, it's hard, especially if you're not that smart. It's really hard. I'm looking for a specific photo because I wanted to make a kind of a point about getting picked on, but now I can't seem to find it. Right, I'm gonna have to bring up one of my YouTube videos. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, obviously. God, how far down is it?
Hey guys, what's up? It's T-Dog here, back at it again with another video.
No, it's not quite that cringe. Ah, the 80s. I mean, it is cringe, but everything I do is cringe, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, this is
Episode 1, 1988.
So you guys got the stream up so I can show you pictures?
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, how could you tease that cool kid? I mean, look at him.
I don't see it yet because you have a shit delay. I mean, that's a child.
Yeah, but he used to get picked on all the time. But that's a cool kid, right?
Yeah, but that's a child without a personality yet. Like they haven't evolved yet. So like you're literally picking on like a blank slate right there.
Wait for it. I'll wait for the next one to come up.
Like that's just like going to a baby and like taking its food away. You're like, ha ha.
So
Good old scouts.
Oh, the scouts. All right,
That's-
now yeah.
That was the period of time that I'm talking about.
Oh, sir, can I show you the knots that I just did, sir?
Oh, no. But,
I wasn't allowed to do scouts because I was the ADHD kid who didn't like sharing, and still I don't play well with people.
I
But
originally...
I'm having to learn.
I originally did scouts because my mum wanted me to learn to get along with people and to try and find something to direct my ADHD. Didn't work because it's like, believe it or not, I actually got picked on at scouts by other scouts.
Were you the kind of kid that fights back?
No.
Really?
I didn't start fighting back until year 10. I kept
Really?
myself reserved until year 10.
I mean, year 10's pretty alright. Like that's puberty still. I don't know. I feel like there's a lit of white man rage like inside of you, and I'm like I can sense it.
I'm quite in control at the moment. But no, when I was in year 10, I had a particular bully who I would look at him and I go, if I hit you, I would break you because you're so small. Stop picking on me. And then one day he pushed it too far and I knocked him the fuck out. Absolutely unleashed on him. Felt bad about it. Apologized to him on the ground. But yeah, I got a lot of my rage out about 2 months before I met my current wife. So I'd just broken up out of a relationship and I started doing nothing but drinking.
I thought you were gonna say something completely different, but yeah, drink. Okay.
Drinking and getting into fights, and me and a couple of my mates actually went looking for fights. We would actually, they call them essays now, but back then they were called lads. And we would go.
Nah.
Nah.
Lads are not essays. Essays are like Russ Rodman. Like or like
shit.
bogans. Nah.
Shit.
The lads, dude. Lads are not essays. Lads is a good thing, man. Like you go and have a drink with the lads.
No, back then, what they call essays now, they called lads. It's the same thing. They just called them lads. They started
Tasmanian.
calling them essays because essay was a word they used all the time.
Yeah, but essay has like it's almost like the roadman from England. It has its own like sort of talking, its own sort of fashion.
It's literally pig Latin and Nike Smith.
I know it's fascinating when you think of it. Like,
but, sorry, very itchy leg. Yeah, the point is we would go hunt groups of them and we'd go fight them.
Why?
Because we were angry little shits who hated the world at the time, and we knew we were stronger than the lads around us.
I guess it's relatable. Like, I was the same. I was just so fucking lazy.
I wasn't, because all I had to do in my life at that point was drink, fight, and maybe play some video games. That was it. Obviously, I got over it. I calmed down, and I'm a sensible human being now.
I think like a lot of my growing up was like depressed all the time, but like in a semi-functional sort of way. So I was like, everything was just like, why do I have to do this? I don't want to do this, or that's just too much effort. Sort of like lazy. So like, I always thought I was lazy, but I'm like, no, I was just depressed. And I don't. Yeah, I'm not like the boohoo, I need a hug kind of depressed. I'm just like the
melancholy. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, but not like suicidal depressed either.
Just want to go to bed type thing.
Yeah.
So on the topic of anger, because you've been very quiet, Twoop, I'm going to ask you again. Can you think of a time where like your anger was something that you lost control of? I'm not going to say you went like crazy, but you became short, snapped at someone, even though a part of your brain was telling you that it wasn't worth it.
Sorry, was that me? I had my headset off for a sec.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was saying, is there a time where you could think that your anger was kind of unhinged and you've like made a mess of a social situation or a relationship because
Absolutely. It's happened a fair few times. It's just like I've never been physical. I don't do that. But I've yelled, screamed, kind of fucked up relationships, like friendships and stuff as well.
yeah.
Um, Again, I can't really think of an exact example, but like it's normally over shit that builds up. But I mean, that's normal for anyone, right? Like shit builds up and you explode, basically.
Sometimes it's more a case of when you react to something and like, there's part of your brain that's like, why are you reacting like this? It's not that bad. But it's kind of like the other part of your brain that's in control at that moment is just going ape shit.
Where the
That's-
impulsivity comes in.
That sounds like Monday to Friday.
Okay, so gotta turn this over to the Darkling. So,
Hello.
can you think of any examples of? It doesn't have to be me, but I'm like the closest to you that has ADHD. Of a time where you've seen someone with ADHD react in a way, in a social circumstance that's really kind of screwed the pooch, and you've been able to kind of like see that they didn't mean it or they went too far, something like that.
Damn boy, you went full sicko mode.
I mean, like, off the top of my head, like, when I was in high school, I was very much a social slut. I never had one set group. I had about 6 or 7 different groups that I went to. And I remember I was about grade 9, I think. And I was with the group that was in the computer room in the library. So we had the library and then we had a separate computer room that normally was just for like seniors. But if you're a good kid to the librarian, you could get in there to play like Warcraft and stuff. And I remember we had one kid in the group that had ADHD, but he always had hyper focus whenever he was playing Warcraft. And I remember in the situation, he had stuffed around, done something. I think he lost a round or he was losing a match and he just got really pissed off. And I could see that something was happening with him. I didn't know what was happening. I went around like, what's up? What's going on? And I just remember seeing him look at me, look at the computer, and just pick up the keyboard and smash it over another kid's head and break the keyboard in half. And then as soon as that happened, he dropped it and went, "Oh, I did not mean to do that. Bugger."
Could you imagine if that was the actual response, though? It's just like, bugger.
No, that was his actual response. He snapped the keyboard. The kid that was next to him was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh,
he dropped the half that he had, and he went, "Oh, bugger." And he walked out. I think he went to the the counselor's room to be like, "I fucked up. This is what I did. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and lie about it. This is what happened."
So I think that type of reaction is something that a lot of people kind of, at least they used to. I'm not too sure about now, but they used to identify that as like, if you don't do this, you don't have ADHD. It was like throwing chairs, throwing tables, attacking the teacher and stuff like that. And a lot of the times I remember people would say, "I've never seen you throw a chair. You don't have ADHD." That's not to say people throwing chairs don't have ADHD. But, so do you have any questions for the ADHD people? Because my brother is, as far as we know, neurotypical, by the way, just in case you didn't know.
I mean, I don't have any questions. You know, I've lived with you for quite a while to have a pretty good understanding of ADHD and, you know, what to look for, what to understand when it's coming to it.
So what about you, Twoop? Have you got any questions for us or the neurotypical? The normie?
No, not at the moment.
Matt?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think so. Like,
That's all right. You don't have to. We can just move on to the next part. That's all good. By the way, in case anyone's thinking, I do not have this shit scripted. I am literally going off the seat of my pants for this. So I suppose the next topic I will cover is like relationships. Because this one tends to be a little bit more close to home and a little bit more thought out. So
you'd be wrong. I don't think about shit.
well, we'll start with you, Matt.
Yeah.
Can you recall a time where you've had an outburst or you've done something triggered by or as an effect of ADHD that's negatively or even positively affected a romantic relationship you've had?
There's a lot of side effects that I'd prefer not speaking about. But um, probably the forgetfulness. A lot of that sort of. It's not really an outburst, I guess.
Oh, this isn't just anger. This is this anything. So
Usually, like the not paying attention being misconstrued as like not giving a fuck. Because like I'll catch myself like not paying attention, and then like the person will be like, "Oh my god, you don't love me," and I'll just be like, "Sorry, who? What?" Um, well, not really literally the saying that, but
no,
you know
I
what I mean?
get the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it'll just like spiral into an argument, and but no, like not this is going back ages ago though, so um. Yeah, not really any like outbursts as like I try to contain that shit as much as I can.
What about you, Twoop?
Oh, mate, where do I start? Um, Forgetfulness, messiness, focusing on something for long periods of time. Yeah, there's a shitload of things that people don't generally like uh, in that fashion. Um, but especially the losing track of time, uh, not cleaning up because you're not looking at it, so you don't think about it. Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's
that's
just
a that's a big one. I combat the time thing by being early to literally everything. To the point where if I'm not like if I miss something or if I'm late, it's like it's ruined my day, to be honest. Like I don't fuck with that. So
mm,
to make sure that I'm never like, tardy when it comes to timing, I'm always early.
Yep, I do that as well. Like when I start work, if I'm not at the desk at least exactly on the moment that I'm meant to start, I'll have the shits all day. One of the big things that I know that's impacted a lot of my relationships, especially my last the two big ones that I had, which is like my wife now, and my daughter's mother, was remember you got to do the washing up. Yeah, sure. 20 minutes later, remember you got to do the washing up. Yeah, I will as soon as I'm finished with this. About an hour later, you haven't done the washing up yet. Can you do the washing up? Yeah. As soon as I'm done this, I'll go do the washing up. I finish what
Jesus,
I'm doing.
Nag.
I'll finish what I'm doing and I'll go to bed. I've completely forgot. The second they've turned their back, my brain has gone, bye.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's anything like that. It's not just the washing up, but it's like, have you taken the bins out? Have you done this? Have you done that? Or are you going to do this? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And like my intention in that moment when I'm responding is, yeah, okay, I've got to remember to do the washing up. I've got to remember to take the bins out. All right. As soon as that conversation is over, whatever I'm focused on right there, whatever my hyper focus is on, is all that exists again.
That's true, but like the way I combat that, and my partner knows me really well, so like, is to like not expect me to remember, but like I do when it's like, oh, can you do this? It's like I do it right now. Like if I'm not doing it right then and there, then it's free game. I could remember, I probably won't. And I'm completely honest about that. Always have been, and it's not really an issue. It's never been an issue because like I'll go out of my way to like do it right now or just. It's a gambit, and thankfully, it's we've live with that.
I think my disadvantage is like I've got ADHD, so I'm a scatterbrain. But my wife is very hygienic and almost OCD. So
Oh, I'm like, what do you mean hygienic? Like, are you talking about washing your hands after you go to the loo hygienic,
Well,
or
yeah.
oh my god, there's tap water in the sink, I need to disinfect it.
No,
Kinda.
not that bad. But like, if the washing up's there still the day after, she'll get incredibly angry. If like I've got psoriasis, you can't tell because I've been using the medication, so it's a little you still kind of see the pink pattern when I put it in the shadows.
Oh, yo, that looks good, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, I've been using a steroid foam.
Yo, that looks heaps better, dude. What the fuck?
It's a steroid cream. It's a spray foam. The thing is, it's a gamble whether or not it's going to keep working because sometimes after a couple of months, my body gets used to it and then rejects it.
Yeah,
and it just stops working.
Antibiotic crap. But dude, that looks heaps good, man. Congrats.
Yeah, it's doing well at the moment. But I'll get itchy and because I got ADHD. I got a fidget, so I'm scratching, and it flakes off everywhere and it gets all over the floor. The bathroom, especially because I get it on my legs, and I'll scratch my legs during the day, so it'll all kind of pull up at the bottom of my pant legs. When I take my pants off to have a shower, poof, goes everywhere like a dust cloud.
I mean, you can't help that though, man. Like that's like,
but
that's a medical thing.
I should clean up right afterwards. Like after I have a shower, I should sweep up. I don't think about it. It doesn't enter my brain, right? And then she's got to look at it, and it's something that's like really dirty to her. She doesn't like dust and dirt on the floor, which is reasonable. But because I've forgotten, it's messy, and it sets her off, and she doesn't like it. So that's one thing that's been an effect on our relationship. She's tolerant and she understands, but I also understand that she gets agitated with it. So, sorry, I did not ignore your chat message, Oz. I have just been talking. To be early is on time is to be late is unacceptable. See, but you're a manager, aren't you? Don't you have managerial powers?
Manage these nuts. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not early to please anyone else. I'm early to appease my anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't give a crap about what people think.
If I'm on my desk 10 minutes early, I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on YouTube. I will not sign into my phone and start working until the second it rolls over to when I'm on clock.
Yeah, I wish I did that because I am very much regretting starting so early today.
Yes.
Like, mind you, like I wasn't just working. Like I had some games going, and I was just doing some tickets. But fuck, Yeah.
No, 3 a.m.'s a bit much. I remember when we had the whole 24 thing, working from, what was that god-awful shift we had?
11 to 7:30.
Yeah, 11 p.m. to 7:30
Man, I
a.m.
fell asleep so many times through that shift.
Oh, it's nuts. Just those
Like,
those
especially,
hours just ugh.
you remember that like what was it, CC and BGP videos that were posted? Every time I went to watch him on night shift, I'd be out straight away. That guy was hard to listen to.
That is the worst thing about trying to learn networking stuff. It's just like the books, it's almost impossible. Doing an online guide with some questionnaires is okay, but like having someone sitting there showing me is always the best. But 90% of the people who teach Cisco stuff are just so boring.
Because they're all dead inside.
So there was one guy I was watching. He's called Network Chuck.
Man, that guy's hyperactive as hell.
Yeah, and he was entertaining. He kept me focused. And I was like, I'm able to actually learn stuff from his course. But he must have a really bad case of ADHD because he just abandoned his CCNA stuff and moved on to Python. Like, he didn't even finish it. He got up to a certain point in CCNA and just went to something else.
Was it the Network Doctors on YouTube? He's like a big buff dude. And like he helps prep people for their CCNO. I think it's like the Networking Doctors or the Guru or something. He's pretty cool.
Oh, dear.
He's bald though, so yeah, it's a shame about that. But other than that, his videos are pretty cool.
He's got no hair. That makes him a bad person, does it?
Yeah,
Yes.
terrible. The worst.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No hair, no skill.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much. Like I don't want to trust no Voldemort head looking ass.
Every time someone says Voldemort now, all I can think of is that video you sent me with the guy has got it playing through the video editor. No, the one whe's got it playing through the video editor. And then when it gets to the part where he does a spell, that shit's funny. Oh, dear. Okay. We're getting a bit off topic here. But, I mean, isn't that the kind of the point?
Yeah, a little bit.
Have ADHD. Get off the point. That's just, yeah. So the next
Probably
thing...
have to head off in a couple of minutes when dinner's ready.
Yep, no, that's okay. I'm trying to make this episode a little bit shorter this time anyway. But for the viewers, after we go for a short break, I might actually turn this into a game stream and we might play some video games.
Video games.
Video games.
What game are you gonna play?
Probably Diablo, actually. Twoop, you got Diablo downloaded.
I love Diablo Immortal, man. It's such a really good game, man. Like it really like crazy how they went with Diablo 4 as a mobile game. Inspirational, I would say.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. Missed you. Twoop, did you say you had it downloaded?
Yeah, I have it installed.
Sweet. You can join up with us and we can do some power leveling or whatever. I don't know how much you've played it.
I haven't played it for a long time, but I was endgame.
Cool.
Oh no, no, you're not. No. Diablo, you finished the campaign, and that's like the prologue.
Yeah, that's the tutorial pretty much.
Yeah, I've played the game before, man.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I get sick of the gear grinding. I'm just like,
yeah, I'll probably I might do next season, and then that'll probably be it for me. This season was a bit of a drawn out thing.
I'm surprised so many people still play it.
Yeah, it gets addictive, and there's certain things people want to finish before they stop playing and stuff. So, all right. So, last thing, let's talk professional life. Um, uh, Obviously, there's obvious bits of it like studying for certifications and training to get better and stuff like that. But can you think of a time where, especially recently, like I mean, when I say recently, I don't mean like this week. I mean like in the last year,
Oh.
where your ADHD has caused a problem at work, and not necessarily with your work, possibly with a colleague, or has led to a social circumstance at work going the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah, I can think of a fair few, man.
Go pick one. Pick one and let us know.
So pretty much when I lose patience with someone, like instead of saying, "Hey, let's circle back on this," or let's take this offline, I would use phrases like "fuck off" and other such terms, and sometimes it gets me into a bit of a pickle. Some people, don't like that, but um, yeah, just like I know I've like yeah, professionalism is something that's like the lingo is something that I've always just like struggled with because like in my mind I'm just like why is everyone like okay with just like talking to each other being fake? Like, you don't talk like this when you're at home. What's the point of everyone pretending? Like for me, I always viewed it as just like if someone's overly formal, it's just like a sign of dishonesty in my eyes. That's how I saw it, and I never wanted to have a bar of it, but yeah, yeah, don't really have that luxury anymore.
No, that's part of being part of a corporation. You can't. Twip, have you got one?
Nothing I can really think of.
Again, and it's another thing. Like I enjoy confrontation as well. So like when a situation does arise when someone like there's a kerfuffle or someone's done something stuffed, I my first instinct isn't to de-escalate, um, which it should be, but naturally I'm just like, let's see where this goes. And yeah, so it's
Just
like
bit,
try to reteach my my first instincts.
bit of an instinctive shit stirrer.
Oh fuck yeah, I love stirring the pot. Like I'll admit it. Like but it's never malicious. I never want to like I would feel really bad if like if someone actually got hurt or like feelings and stuff like that. But if someone's being lazy or just like just the laziness part of it is the real trigger for me. Like if someone's just taking the piss, like I've got no chill with that sort of stuff, and it's just constantly learning. Like I've got to approach it, got to treat everyone normal, like the same, and yeah, that's the biggest struggle that I've had.
I have the opposite, but probably because majority of my professional career has been having to deal with customers. Like my first job was a receptionist at an internet cafe. Then I worked as a security guard. Then I worked as a telemarketer for a charity. It's like all my professional experience has been diplomacy intact. That's just like the thing I've learned from day dot. So it's a bit different for me.
I've worked in customer service heaps, but I've always come at everything with like, "Hey, go on, dinky die." Like, I ain't gonna call you sir, Mister Truck Driver. I've always detested formalities like that, and it's always sort of been an issue to a point. Like, I've gotten by, but like I've really just never fucked with it. and a lot of the time when like I've just tried to relate to people and sort of adapt to the conversation that way. But yes, that doesn't always work, obviously.
Yep. No, it doesn't. So, brother,
Yes.
can you think of a particular situation at work, like you've only really long-term had the one job, where if you had the same condition as me, where it's like, in this situation, if my brother was doing this, things would have gone sideways fast, or worse than they are, or something like that.
Probably the fact of, like, as much as you like to say it, you're very much a passive person. Like, you like to say that you're not passive, that you do other things, you do this, you do that, but you are very much a go with the flow passive person. And if I had the same mentality as you, I'd still be doing so much extra shit at work, because I would have just gone, okay, boss has said I'm doing this, so I'm doing this now. Like, I've had to speak up multiple times to my boss and actually, like, tell him off for being a dickhead, essentially.
Oh, I do that. You should talk to my manager about things I've said to you. But no, like that particular circumstance, though. If you can think of one.
Time, state, and contact information of all involved, please. But don't.
Not really. Not that I can think of right off the bat.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Right now.
That's all good. All right. So, couple of things to kind of summarize, like stuff with socializing, especially when you were kids. Getting overly excited in social circumstances. School, getting distracted, getting in trouble. Was there ever a time that you guys can remember where you got in trouble for distracting other classmates intentionally? And, like, why did you do it? Was it just because you were trying to be entertaining, or was there something else going on?
Not for distracting others. Not really. Like, I got into trouble for, like, if I wasn't into a class, then there's no chance of me doing it. So I'd get into trouble a lot that way, but it wasn't really affecting anyone else. It was more just me.
Twoop?
Probably distracted a fair bit. I mean, I stabbed a kid in the leg with a pen in the middle of class once.
Hell yeah.
I did that with a pencil in a library.
But yeah, I mean, again, I don't really remember much of way back then. Just extreme things like that.
Quite a lot of repression.
Possibly.
I think the worst part of my early socializing, like trying to learn how to be social when I was a kid, was when it looked like I was making progress, when it looked like I was making a friend. I would get too excited, too jittery, and I would do stupid things, and I would say stupid things, and I would, like, instinctively kind of try to show off doing stupid shit.
Yep.
And then it fucked the whole thing up, because they're like, oh, this kid's stupid, he's crazy, or something like that.
Do you feel like that is, like, it could be, like, your own personal self-confidence issues, and not, like, you're not actually as bad as what you think you are, but, like, blow it out. Like, I'm only using this because, like, I have the same thing. But it's just like, do you reckon that's an actual thing, or could it maybe be that you thinking that you're doing this?
I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it since I was in like primary school.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like back then.
But
So
no, back then it was definitely because it was physical jitters, and you could feel
Yeah.
adrenaline spikes. You could feel, you're getting excited
Overexcitement.
because you've gone from having a dopamine deficiency, which is your default, to an overload of dopamine.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, if I was talking to someone and they started, like, shaking and juttering, I would be like, oh, fuck, the zombie apocalypse. But, like, I get the leg jitters all the time. Like, that shit's normal-ish. Like, it bugs people. But, like, what kind of jitters are you talking
It was
about?
like,
Like,
when you see a kid who's really excited about something, like they're just
Hulk Hogan hulking up kind of jitters?
no, just like bouncing and moving around because they've got to move around because they've got too much energy.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
That was like for the first probably 10 years of my life. It was like every time I started something good socially happening and making a friend for the first time, that's what I would feel. And I would either catch myself doing it, feel ashamed, and then bring the mood down on myself, or I'd get jittery, get excited, do something stupid, and fuck it up. Like one of my friends who I was friends with in year 5, 6, and 7 before I went from Central Coast back down to Sydney, I did the same thing with him. Like we started talking and I started getting amped up and jittery and talkative and motor mouthing and stuff like that. But he didn't have a problem with it because he had the same problem. He was a lot.
that won't be why. Like, you just because someone has the same. Well, I'm sorry, no, I'm not saying it is, but I'm like, just because someone has the same problem doesn't mean like if I had to talk to someone like myself, I would probably get pissed off at them. So yeah, like it isn't just because they have the same thing as you. Like people can be accepting no matter what.
Yeah, possibly, but
Yeah.
I never met any of them, or I didn't meet very many of them while I was growing up.
Yeah.
The older I got, the more I met. Like in high school, I started meeting more people, and I also started being able to rein that in a lot more. And kind of got to the balance point probably at the end of year 9, where I'd figured out how to not get jittery, and also not amp myself up about the situation. And like when I was starting to learn that, people were also becoming more accepting of people who are a bit stranger. Then by the time I hit year 11, it stopped happening to me. And it was an overlay of, on top of the fact that I'd learnt to kind of rein it in, every time I started making friends with someone, part of my brain would be like, oh, yeah, they're an arsehole that's going to use you waiting to happen. That's not ADHD, that's my depression. But oddly enough, my depression helped me socialise, which is feckin' weird. Alrighty, I think Darkling has actually already toddled off to have a cigarette.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
No, I'm here. I just had a coughing fit, as you could probably half tell.
Cigarettes.
No, didn't know.
Did you know that cigarettes actually cause a lot of issues, and they're expensive?
Yes.
Did you know 100% of people in the world who breathe oxygen will die?
I mean, do you know that for a fact? Have you
I
seen
know that
everyone?
100% for a fact, yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything for 100%.
Well, look, you get into that level of semantics, and there's
Deep moments with the deep.
the chances of a magical unicorn appearing in your room to grant you wishes are incredibly low, but they're not.
But never
Not
impossible.
impossible.
I don't know.
Never impossible.
I find like I like that kind of thinking though, because in a way nothing's impossible. and that's
Well-
like
Oh,
I
God,
got-
who was it?
I don't know.
There was,
It's a interesting way of thinking.
there was a scientist, I can't remember, he was talking about multiverse theory.
Bill Nye,
No, I said scientist, not a game show host.
he's the science guy.
Yeah, no. But this guy was talking about the if multiverse theory is correct, then literally nothing is impossible because in one of those multiverses, it happened, even if it broke the laws of physics.
So there's
Like theoretically, there is a multiverse where the physics of Star Wars is actually the laws of physics, and there are actually Jedi running around in that universe. A bit of an extreme example, but yeah. All right, so we have got way off the topic of ADHD.
but ironically,
Which is
no, we
very
haven't.
typical.
Well, we've our ADHD has un-ADHD'd our ADHD, which is cool. But that's all right. We've been up for an hour, so that's plenty of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short remission. And then we might come back and play some Diablos. Matt, do you have Diablo 3?
I do, but it's not installed,
Okay.
and the chances of me playing it are pretty slim. I'm just gonna set the expectation there. I do love playing games with you, but I respect you enough to be completely honest.
That's fine. That's fine, man.
Yeah.
I'm only thinking Diablo 3 because that's just what I'm playing at the moment that I have installed that everyone else does.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I don't know. You know me, man. I'll just like if you want to play a game, I'm like, as long as it's not a AAA, man. I'm like, yeah, I'll see if I've got it, and I'll give you a copy of it.
Yeah. When
I ain't Call of Duty. I want to smash that when it comes out, man.
Well, I have it pre-owned. Twoop, you've got it
Really?
pre-owned, don't you?
I don't know. I'm sort of taking a hard stance on pre-ordering things. Says the man who.
There was a reason for me doing it that was not.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a fan of pre-ordering in general, but
Yeah.
there was a solid reason for it.
No.
It had something to do with
Look.
ADHD, actually.
I'm not having a go at anyone who does it. Like you're an adult. You spend your money however you want. You've earned it. But I can't really talk because I still pre-order fucking World of Warcraft. So.
You still play it though. That's the.
Eventually I'll play it. But like I have all the collector's editions except for the original and Burning Crusade because I ain't gonna pay $800 on eBay.
Yeah, God, no, they'd be impossible to get now.
Yeah, I got Lich King and up. Yeah.
Actually, I think me and Darkling's brother-in-law actually has the limited edition of the original and Burning Crusade.
Oh, that's great.
I think.
I'm so glad you took the time to just tell me that.
I don't know if he does. I'd have to confirm. I don't know if it's limited or normal. I just know the boxes looked fancy from what I saw, but they might not be. But yeah. All right. So you Darkling, Twip, you guys want to play some Diablo 3 when we get back from intermission?
Yeah, I'm already fiddling around.
Sweet.
I'll probably jump back into Discord later and say hello.
Yep. No, that's
If I don't drop into a comatose, but yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, she probably either have some sleep or have a lot of caffeine. One of the two.
Oh yeah, the caffeine, yeah, that'll help.
It's a psychological thing. It just makes you think like it's helping. I mean, we know it's not, but
nah, like I don't know. Like I'm not after any pity because like I do it to my. Actually, no, I don't do it to myself. Fuck that. Yeah. Anyway.
all good. Alrighty. All right. So I will. I'll put us on intermission, and when we come back, I'll change the title of the stream.
Man,
Yeah.
catch ya. Thanks for having me again,
That's
putting
all
up with me.
Thanks for coming along, and
See.
and my chatty people who are there, we will be back in about 5-10 minutes. All right, talk to you soon.
Habla.
And for those watching the YouTube video, this will be the end of the YouTube video. So see you later, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you around in the next one. Bye-bye.